birthday boy. I hope you're having a great birthday so far. So you know how I love to do special things for you on your birthday, but 30 is huge and I wanted to do something extra special. So with that said, I put together this little video for you and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go.
Yeah, it was really difficult coming up with a name for Christopher. I mean, I'll never forget. We're saying, gee, what goes with James? Now, James has one syllable, so I said, well, we want to get something like multi-syllable for his first name. So we started thinking about Brian James.
Peter
James. And my God, it wasn't until today, we figured it all out. What's Christopher's great show that he watches all the time? And literally, anytime he gets a chance.
Family Guy.
Family Guy. And what are the characters' names?
Brian. And Peter.
And
Chris.
And Chris. Well, he ended up with one of the Family Guy's names anyway.
So we were predicting the future, and he would love Family Guy.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them.
Oh, we're on right now?
Yeah.
Yo,
This is London, day one.
we're on the beautiful London countryside. Check it out. How old are you? Yo, this is a lighted tunnel. What? 1, 2, 3, let's get eliminated!
Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
Aggressive!
Show us what you got when the motherfucking beat drops.
One of my favorite memories with Chris was growing up. We lived in a townhouse with all guys. There's probably about 20 guys, similar to how he hangs out with people now. And I was the only girl, and he'd always let me join in on the group. And I think that's how I became such a tomboy. But he'd always include me with Manhunt and Capture the Flag. He was a good big brother.
It probably reverts back to just all the times that we would turn around and not know where he was back at our Rutgers days. And you would just see him literally jumping through bushes and jumping around windows to get inside of these frat parties. It'll always be absolutely hilarious to me. There's also one time when he stole an entire case of cooking vodka from Brower, the kitchen at Rutgers. All of a sudden we're eating and he's just gone and we don't know where he went. We go back to his dorm room, we look in his closet, and he's like, "Why'd you leave?" He goes, and we look in his closet, he's got a whole case of Leeds cooking vodka.
Vegas. I mean, a lot of Vegas. Pool parties, waking me up in the morning, playing Turbulence at 7 o'clock when I went to bed at 4 in the morning. I'll never forgive you for that. Jumping on my bed.
Best memory with Chris would have to be, we're at a club one night, and he's leaning on the bar to get a drink, and I'm behind him grabbing his ass. And he was a little tipsy, so he turns around and he's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, Jerry, you like my ass? Grab it, grab it." And we look over and there's like 12 people watching us that we didn't know.
There's only so many memories that I could say on video because I don't know who will be seeing this later. But I just want you to remember that when you are a pro at skiing, I'm the one that stayed behind and taught you.
The best memory of Chris by far is when I really found out. I never took Chris serious when he told me he was a cop. No lie, I always thought he was a mall cop, you know, because he had the perfect hours, Tuesdays and Wednesdays during the summer. That was his shift. But he picked us up one time on his car, and we went down to Surf Club. We had the dumbbells in the car, the stretchy bands, and you see 5 tool bags all in one car working out all together, pumping techno and lifting weights, going to Surf Club, which is by far my favorite memory of Chris.
The best memory I had with Chris was one time we were walking out of DJ's. We had our shirts off. We were minding our own business, and this girl on a fucking bicycle was like, she was like, you know, passing by, and she's like, you know, she like broke her neck, like grilling us and staring at us. Me and someone were like, whatever. So she turns on the corner, and she's like still staring at us. Next thing we hear is, poof, like a loud fucking noise. So we start running, and she fucking crashes into a car because she was like checking us out.
Best memory with Chris, let's see. Probably every Sunday of the past few summers that I've known him is the best memory. So every single one of them.
Besides cuddling, a tool bag dance, and little togetherness, he's a great person. He's a great sense of humor, personality. He's never down. When you're down, boosts you right back up. It's a great person.
It could be a couple. There could be in college, the stripper party at your apartment, where we beat the crap out of that dude, and I pushed everyone out of the way, and I started punching him, and I got down with the guys. Or it could be when we're 21, spring break in Miami, where the one time I had to rescue you, as opposed to the 10,000 that you rescued me, because you decided you weren't going to pay your bill at the Delano Hotel. Remember that? Crystal, can you bring my wallet in the room? Yeah. Is your picture still up in the Delano Hotel? Not allowed back?
Best memory of Chris was when we were in Belmar, in the ocean, and waterboarding. It was the first time that Chris wasn't good at something immediately, but he just looked so amazingly majestic with all the water just dripping down.
I have way too many wonderful memories with Chris, so it's kind of hard to choose one. But he and I both know what this is. One of my best memories with you, Chris, is at the secret garden, which will remain a secret.
So one of my favorite stories of Chris was, Drama was there for this one. We were at his parents' house, I think when they first moved in, and we started pranking. You know, Chris likes to prank, so we started pranking Chinese restaurants.
Phone number 732-447-4364. Okay, I need one sesame chicken combination platter.
We don't have a combination at all.
Oh, okay, I mean, just the sesame chicken.
Okay, anything else besides that?
I need boneless spare ribs.
Sesame chicken, you said? Sesame chicken you ordered already, right?
Excuse me?
You ordered the sesame chicken already, is that right?
We don't have sesame chicken.
You don't want a sesame chicken?
We don't have sesame chicken.
Okay, so you want me to up the sesame chicken?
I remember a time that we went on vacation with Chris and he had a farting contest with Andre and beat the shit out of him.
Hours of farts on me.
Hours
I had no
upon
gas.
hours of farting without one response.
I couldn't retaliate.
I don't know if you can hear that though over the music, but he just farted on your camera.
I think one of the best memories is when he was about 5 or 6 years old, and it was Christmas, and he came running down the stairs, and he saw his presents, and he said, "I knew I was good. I knew I was good."
So we always argued who was better, and we used to always battle in his driveway, 1-on-1. We used to play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, whoever in the neighborhood we could play with. So we went to war, and we had a game of 1-on-1 to 15 where the winner was, if I won, he was going to have to wear a dress to JP for an entire week, Monday through Friday. I thought it would be hilarious. I wouldn't have been able to see it, but my friends would have been able to tape it. Now, if I lost, he was going to take a razor to my head, and he was going to shave off my entire head of hair. Well, push comes to shove. Dude, as we know, is a great baller. He crushed me in 1-on-1, and he just had to shave my entire head. But here's the thing. Instead of, kind of buzzing it, making it a little bit of short, or putting some shaving cream on top of my head, dude straight up just got his Mach 3 razor. I sat in a chair, and he just went to town on my hair. My head was a bloody mess. And in fact, I'm sure your mom, Karen, still has the video that we taped of that day. And that is how I've been bald. I've never been able to grow hair since. On the sides, my hair grows back so thick. But on the top where it was bloody and I had cuts all over my head, my hair has never grown back till this day. So thank you, Chris, for making me the Jersey version of Mr. Clean.
Little Bow Wow, Little Bow Wow. I know you and Jay are going to love that shit. The time that me and you just took that crazy road trip up to Canada, we went to Toronto, we went to Hamilton, and we did a lot of wild and reckless things. Clear heels, that's disgusting. When we had to visit and we had to take care of Crystal in Miami, that also is one of the most embarrassing things that we've ever done, having to deal with Crystal and hearing all her stories. As much as we love her, only you are the only person that knows what I've gone through with her. And of course, you making me move to High Street when I came to Rutgers. Definitely had a crazy ass time there. All the parties, all the people coming through, all the great times, going to Squam, doing all that nonsense we were on High Street. Definitely made for a very interesting time at Rutgers. And then after that, every weekend we would go to 118 and Surf Club. We used to do it up. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in crime. My brother for life. I love you.
One of Chris's favorite things to do is sleep. This boy can sleep forever.
Some of Chris's favorite things to do, definitely sleep. He thoroughly enjoys togetherness with his friends, and anything that involves us taking our shirts off in any setting. He loves taking my shirt off in places too, which sometimes I don't even know when he's
Some
doing it.
of Chris's favorite things are straws, apple juice, chewy granola bars, and Fritos. And when Chris was younger, when we used to live in the same house, his pillow would always smell like apple juice. It was so disgusting, so I would never go into his bed because he drank so much apple juice. Yeah.
Some of Chris's favorite things to do: take selfies, make memes, go to the gym, and sleep.
Sleep, especially next to his friends.
What is Chris's favorite thing to do? I would probably have to say it's a tie between being a grandpa driving a Cadillac, or learning about Cadillacs, or dreaming about Cadillacs, or going to the gym and drinking protein shakes and being a tool. So, grandpa tool.
Chris's favorite thing to do is call me every 3 or 4 times a day and talk in Tariq voice. Like this, with boys. All right, let's go. We gotta go.
Chris's favorite things to do. Work out, sleep, go to the gym. Oh, that's working out. Sorry. He likes to tan. He's really good at tanning. And eating chicken and brown rice.
Some of Chris's favorite things to do would be to look really, really good, to pose looking really, really good, to eat looking really, really good, and to sleep looking really, really good.
We all know it's hanging with his girl, hanging with his boys, going out to the club, going out to DJs, going to the shore, hanging with his family. He loves his family. Growing up, it was me, him, his sister, all our friends in the neighborhood. We used to always rock manhunt every single night. And Chris and his sister, I kid you not, they are some of the most athletic people I have ever met in my entire life that are not professional athletes.
I don't know. What's with the eyebrow thing? I can never do it, so I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna do the old and then see if it stays down.
That's kind of hard since he only has one eyebrow and he plucks it, but I'll give it a try.
Eyebrow pros? I can't do it. I have Botox on my forehead.
Can't be serious. He's like,
Chris's eyebrow, okay. He goes, it's like the people's eyebrow, but he does it like, I can't even do it. Does it like this and looks away at the same time. Only Chris could do it.
Am I doing it? You need the eyebrow? There we go. That was really good.
No, hold on. You gotta get the lips. Or
Wait, you can't smile. Gotta be serious.
I think that's pretty accurate.
So I can't do it because, all right, so Chris, I can't do your eyebrow pros because I look like I have Down syndrome, but I get it? No, probably not, right? Try later.
He does the little lip thing too.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, fire.
Chris, you're a horrible dancer.
First of all, we all know Chris is a terrible, terrible dancer.
Dancing.
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 This guy's a horrible dancer.
He is probably the world's worst dancer. You know, I remember back in high school and in college, he used to patent this move, and I'll do it for you. It was where a girl would grind up on him. You know, she'd bend over, she'd kind of do her thing, and Chris would sit there, and he would go like this with his hands. It was absolutely hilarious.
Sorry, buddy. Just can't dance. You know it, though. It's cool. Oh, and paying for things. You're bad at paying for things. Any way you can get anything for free, you're all about it.
And the second thing that Chris is bad at is, I doubt that he still does it now, but he used to do it all throughout high school, all throughout college. Chris is terrible at paying for anything. He is a bigger Jew than myself and Anne Frank.
Taking pictures.
Posing for pictures?
Posing for pictures.
He's awful at posing for pictures.
Well, I think if you take a look around this room, he's a slob. He throws his clothes on the floor. It's been like this for years. He tells me, as a good son would, Mom, I know you're right, I should clean up my room. And he just appeases me and never does it.
One thing that you're bad at is smelling, which came in really handy being your roommate for so long because I used to fart all the time, and it was great that you could never smell that.
Chris is really bad at shopping. I can name countless experiences where Chris tries to get his presents on eBay, and he is never good. This never has a good outcome because it always backfires in his face.
I would say Chris is really bad at being a cop because he's always talking to one of us on the phone or singing his car or not doing any cop responsibilities.
Chris is bad at dancing. I thought he was very good, and then I was sober one day.
I was nice to him anyways, even though he's a horrible dancer. But, you know, he turned out to be still a horrible dancer, but he's my friend, so.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me. So sexy it hurts, and I am too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan. And I am too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party, the way I'm disco dancing. I'm a model, you know what I mean, and I do my little turn on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk, on the catwalk. Yeah, I do my little turn on the catwalk.
If I could describe Chris in one word, it would be annoying. I can't take him. He goes out of his way to annoy me because he chews so freaking loud, and I literally can't stay in the same room when he's there.
If I could describe Chris in one word, it would be a tie between hilarious and gay. So he is hilariously gay. And that's probably in part because if you always checked our Monday morning photo albums, there's nothing but him sleeping next to guy after guy with no clothes on.
If I could describe Chris in one word, it would be deceptive, because you are not really a garbage man.
Over the top. Just everything he does, it's just over the top.
There's more than one word to describe Chris. Insanity. Absolutely insane. Again, everywhere he goes, people have fun. He brings up the room. He's positive. He's full of energy. He's a madman. He enjoys boozing and dancing, having fun and clubbing.
I would say he's like the Peter Luger filet mignons of good-lookingness.
Chris is a little crazy at times, but then when you get to know him, he's very responsible, and that's not something I expected when I first met him at all.
Other than good-looking and handsome, I would say funny. He's a funny guy. We got a group chat for the past 2 years going. He knows how to put a smile on everybody's face, no matter if you're having a bad day or not. He's a genuinely funny guy.
White. Because you're white.
Love at first sight. Awesome. Phenomenal. Fantastic. Just, I mean, I can just go on and on. Like, there's nothing negative about this guy.
Chris in one word. It's going to be a couple words. He's an all-around American straight shooter, clean cut. He's fantastic all around. He's a great guy, and he's a good friend.
I would probably describe Chris in one word as a unicorn. Chris is a beautiful, mythical creature that actually doesn't exist. That's probably the only way I could possibly describe him. He's a unicorn.
If I could describe Chris in one word, I think he knows what I'm about to say. Turtle! You are a turtle, and you're a turtle because you are the slowest person in the world. You move like molasses.
One word to describe you, I would call you an instigator. No one in my life has ever been able to make me do as many things as you've been able to make me do against my will. I don't know if they've been for the good or for the bad, but they definitely led to some interesting stories. Yeah, a lot of interesting stories between me and you.
My first impression of Chris was Channing Tatum.
I guess my first impression of Chris was was that he was actually cheap. I thought he was cheap because I've known the kid for a long time, but we would do Rutgers parties, and instead of paying the $5 cover charge to get in, we would always find him sneaking through a basement window or going through a fire escape to go through the window to get into the place.
When I met him his family invited me over to dinner. He was just waking up, and seemed a little goofy and funny, like his dad.
See, my first impression of Chris, a tool.
My first impression of Chris was that everywhere he goes, the man seems to be the life of the party, and he is silly, silly, silly as a human being.
My first impression of Chris would have to be, God damn, this guy is really good looking. He made me question my sexuality.
My first impression of Chris was that, shit, he's hot. And then I met Carrie.
My first impression of Chris is typical New Jersey tool bag, Guido. He's got the sweatpants on, the white Pumas with the gold chain, guinea tea, driving the Cadillac. That's, if you could put Jersey, a picture of Jersey, that would be Chris.
My first impression of Chris was that he was your typical New Jersey Shore guy. I had just moved here when I met him, and all I knew about the Jersey Shore again was the TV show, and I thought he should have been casted.
My first impression of when I met Chris, I'm like, what does this guy want and why is he so nice to me? I don't even know him. I didn't even know his name. He was just being very nice to me. And we just went on from there and we clicked.
My first impression of Chris, let's see, this guy's a horrible dancer. I looked at him and I'm like, really?
When I first met Chris, my first impression was I was like, is this fucking guy a cop? What a tool bag. And now look at us now. Love the guy.
My first impression of Chris was 16 years ago, first day of school, freshman year in high school. I see this big, tall, bald, white as hell kid, looks like a freaking wigger. I'm like, who the hell is this kid? He's hot. I'm going to be friends with him. Find out what he's about. And then 16 years later, here we are, best friends to my brother. And who would have thought we'd still be friends?
My first impression of Chris James was at DJ's when I first saw him. I said, wow, this guy's really good looking. But why the hell is he wearing sweatpants? What are we, the 40-40 Club?
My first impression of Chris was, well, obviously meeting him at DJ's and being just another one of the obnoxious guys coming up to me and hitting on me. I didn't have the best impression of him, but I did think he was hot. I'll give him that.
You know, I can't tell you what my first impression of Chris was because I was 5 years old at the time. That's right. Our friendship is about 25 years deep. We met in Lincoln School in kindergarten. But I will tell you this, from the moment we were younger, we were like brothers from another mother.
Monkey, pull my finger. Pull my finger. Ah, it's funny.
Chris would be embarrassed if he found out that I told everyone when he was little he was sleepwalking and he went over to the dryer and he peed in the dryer all over the clothes.
How many times Chris has saved me from getting arrested, including last week? I would say more than I can remember. Definitely in the 30s and 40s.
Let's see. We were pulled over on the Garden State Parkway, and he's obviously shirtless because he drives shirtless going down the shore. And we just pulled over, and there's people passing by left and right, like everywhere, well, on the left side. And, you know, I'm just sitting there in my car, and, you know, he's outside my car like he's pulling me over, but with no shirt on.
Embarrassing moments of Chris. Maybe the down in the hotel. That could be it. God, embarrassing. I mean, I'm usually always the one embarrassing you. So, you being embarrassed? Not really sure. Usually it's oh man, I'm not friends with this girl. I don't know this girl.
One of my best moments with Chris would be at DJ's. One of the funniest is when he decided to hand me a bottle of champagne. And I never had anybody hand me a bottle of champagne at DJ's, so I decided to shake it up like I just won the World Series or the Lotto. And I just sprayed everybody. And Chris's face was just staring at me with a complete blank stare of just... So, of course, all the security rushed over to obviously throw me out, but they didn't throw me out because I'm John Reno, which astounded Chris even more that I didn't get thrown out. First guy ever to not get thrown out of DJs after spraying the whole crowd. Thank you, Chris, for the champagne.
I couldn't really think of anything because I feel like you're never embarrassed. You kind of just roll with the punches. You don't really care what anybody thinks or anybody says. But I feel like when you got the Prelude bumper ripped off your car and you had to ride around with the with the rubber things hanging off the edge of it. I thought that was pretty funny. That's the most embarrassed I've ever seen you.
First of all, when Chris was younger, and his mom, his sister, and his dad Jimbo could attest to this, Chris used to have a mullet. He used to have a mullet for, I think it was like 1 or 2 years. And not only was it just a regular mullet, but it had a tail at the end that actually wagged. I kid you not. That tail was literally like this long, and it came from the back of his head. I know we all had tails growing up. At least I know I did, my cousin did, he did. But Chris had a mullet on top of it, so it was absolutely hilarious.
One time, we were in a club in Miami, and it closed down and was done 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and we both go and sit at a fountain, and he decided to have Delano videotape this, and then he just pushed me in the fountain.
Yeah, right now.
Chris, any advice on being 30 would be to stop taking so many shirtless selfies. The number has to go down as your number goes up. This is the way it
30's
is.
all right because you might get a little older every year, but the girls stay the same age. They're always 24.
If I can give Chris any advice on being 30, it would be act like you're 29 and marry Carrie.
I'll just lie. Don't tell people you're 30. I mean, until you're like 45, you can pull off the old I'm 29. Just do it over and over and over. I've been doing it for 4 years already.
Advice on being 30, man, just stay young, man. Feel yourself. You're amazing. I love you. You're a very good friend.
30 is the new 20, so live it up. Don't feel old. You're only as old as you feel.
Boo, if I could give you any advice about turning 30, it would have to be to start acting your age. Start acting your age.
Get a nicer shore house. Really.
Just be yourself. You're doing good as you are, and you keep improving every year, and our friendship keeps improving.
What's going on, Mr. C? It's Delano here to wish you happy birthday. I got a whole big list of things I gotta wish you happy birthday for, man. I just gotta say it's been a great, I feel like it's almost like 20 years I've known you. I feel like it's been forever. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in crime. You're my brother for life. I love you.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Chris. We love you.
Old fuck.
What up, my dude? Happy 30th birthday from not one, but two Seagull Desert Eagles. Who else but Jordan and
Haley Seagull.
happy birthday, my brother. Say happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday.
Chris, I love you. I wish you a happy 30th, happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy this.
Happy birthday, Chris. I hope you get everything you want. Carrie pulls through like she did today, and we all love you. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, brother. I love you. Mwah. Happy birthday, Chris. Can't wait to celebrate with you.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris. Again this year. Enjoy your 29th and keep enjoying it. And we love you.
Happy birthday, bro. I love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. Happy dirty 30. Many more years to come. Many more memories. Keep it going. You aging like fine wine, baby. Let's keep it going.
Happy birthday, Chris. I hope you get all the Cadillacs in the world.
Hey, Chris. Happy 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. One of my best friends, and we all love you.
Chris, happy birthday, brother. Love you, man.
Hi, birthday buddy. I love you. It's your 30th. I'm next.
Happy birthday, C1.
Chris, I'm so very, very proud of you. I wouldn't have changed anything about you from the day you were born to the day you turned 30. I love you very much. Happy birthday.
Chris, we want to wish you a happy 30th birthday. It seems like yesterday you were born. We love you. Your smile lights up my life.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video shows how many people care about you and love you, and how you make everybody so happy, including myself. I really can't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't met you at DJ's that night. You definitely are my world, and you are my everything. And you always say one thing to me. You always say, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all, which is usually true. But I feel like the day I met you, I used up all of my luck because I really am the luckiest girl in the world to call you mine. And I hope you have a happy birthday. I love you so much. But before I end this video, I have one more surprise for you. Enjoy.
We fly higher than weather, and she flies it better. You know me, in anticipation for precipitation, stack chips with a rainy day. Jay, Rain Man is back with Little Miss Sunshine. Rihanna, where you at? You have my heart,
and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you'll still be my star.
Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars. And that's what you need me there.
With you I'll always share. Because when the sunshine will shine together.
Told you I'd be here forever. Said I'd always be your friend.
Took a note on us to get out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we'll still have each other.
You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella.
Hey, hey, hey,
Under my umbrella. Ella, hey, 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 under my umbrella. Ella, hey, hey, hey.
Under my umbrella. Ella, Ella,
Hey, hey, hey.
Happy birthday, brother. Love you, man.
All right, Mr. C, happy birthday, man. It's a pleasure. 30 more.